What we're going to cover today, class, we're going to pick up on the from the storytelling tutorials that we got through on Tuesday. We did Trumpet Kid, remember that?
Yeah.
Martha Pond and Pullman Porter. We are keeping in mind, right, Sam, that shots make up sequences, sequences make up scenes, and scenes make up stories, right?
Hmm.
And we're going to go through real quickly uh, these shot sequence tutorials. These are like 30-second ads. But at the end of the day, right, we talked about it on Tuesday, it's all storytelling, and it's done very well. And then we're going to get into Hotel 22, which I promised you on Tuesday as well. There's Eli. Um uh, Hotel 22, and then uh, wrap it up and remind you that on next Tuesday, the 16th, everybody, right? Letter to someone that I miss, max length 2 minutes. Again, I'm available this weekend. Anybody want to send me a draft or anything, but be sure that you put it in Adobe Spark. Is published public and is ready to present on Tuesday the 16th. Yes,
I,
Sam.
yeah. So for Adobe Spark, do you want all of our projects on like one page or do you
Exactly.
just want it? Yeah.
No, yeah, all on one page. It's a continuation of.
Okay. That's
Again,
what I thought. I wanted to make sure when I
fine.
finally
All,
figured it out.
this is for everybody. Always ask. Okay. Your Spark page come May, right? Your Spark page come May. It should be just one long page. The first thing on there will be your Amanda Gorman. Then your next thing should be letter to someone that I miss. And then your next thing should be the one topic, three people, followed by your midterm, letter to my younger self, and then finally your final project. Yeah. And so that's how it should be assembled. Okay, very very neat. You can be creative in uh, your logo picture. It could be something from your own artwork or photography. Be uh, creative as you want to be. You know, I'm I'm sure Sam, yours will be. It may be 3D animation, Star Trek, Star Wars,
I
and
have the time.
all that with your background. Okay, so again, that's what you guys should come to class on Tuesday, ready to go. Okay, and then we'll get right back into storytelling, and we'll start uh, studying and thinking about what this one topic, three people will be, right? Again, knowing that it's COVID, knowing that it's social distancing, and we're not on campus, you should start thinking about it through the lens of, well, something in my environment, something in my neighborhood, something in my uh, community. For example, if you want to pull it from Anijah, a topic, uh, whatever neighborhood you're in, say you're in a neighborhood, say you're in a community where they are now a COVID vaccination site, okay, at a particular local church that they may do it 2 or 3 times a week. Well, if I were you, I would go there and ask three people, three different people, right? Are you, is a vaccination shot, a vaccination site here? at St. Joseph is it a good idea? And you always get your responder to include the answer in, the question and the answer. I think it's a great idea, blah, blah, blah. It's taking a lot of worry off of me, so forth and so on. Okay. Uh, so you would have your three answers, and then you're still not done, right, Enrique? You got to have what? You got to have B-roll. And so you would get permission, right? If needs be, to get the cars on the parking lot, get the people walking in to the vaccination site. If they're nice enough and you can get permission, you can maybe actually get a few people getting their first or their second vaccination. And so that is your B roll under your three talking heads. Okay, so if it's and the max length on that is only 1 minute, so you really got about what, 20, 40, 60 seconds, three people. And so, you're not going to have a person on screen talking, right, Elijah, for 20 seconds. You got to break that up. You would have them on screen with their name, Sam Jones. We don't need their age and all that, but Sam Jones, have him talking for 5 to 7 seconds or 4 to 7 seconds, and then we go to the B-roll. Okay, and then we come up with the next person, Mary Smith. All right. The challenge with that is, right, visual variety, not visual redundancy. This is where the critical thinking comes in. Okay, I've got to have a series of, right, Sam? I got to have a series of shot sequences that are not visually redundant. I got my topic, I got my three people. I I uh, got some really good comments. Now I got to think about the visuals. Now I got to think about what shots that make up the sequences, and the sequences to make up the scenes, and the scenes from all three make up this story about the a vaccine center in this particular neighborhood. Make sense to you, Eli? Yeah. So there's some thinking that has to go beyond this, or should I say behind this, and also noticing that what, guys, today is the 11th and it's due on the 16th, and it says what to you, Enrique? Oops, I got to get started, right? Because the last thing that you want to do is on the weekend of the 14th, 15th, 16th, right? Be scrambling around looking for a topic, scrambling around trying to find a location and this, that, and the other, and all of these other things. Always keep in mind, Eli, what? Plan your work and work your plan. Okay, it requires planning, it requires some time. Okay, so I'll be more than happy to get into that more as we get into uh, that particular lecture and discussions and tutorials after we do uh, Tuesday's assignment deadline letter to someone that I miss. This commercial, this story, I think it's only about 30 seconds or so, is just spot on. It's a minute. Let me start over again.
Introducing the Subaru Forester Reforesting Project. Through our Love Promise, Subaru and our retailers are proud to be replanting 500,000 trees in areas devastated by wildfires. Subaru, more than a car company.
All this story was um, shots that make up the sequences, and the sequences make up the stories, and blah blah blah. You know, that's all that it was. But it had one other element, Eli, that we discussed in class. But I want you guys to really pay attention to as you look at all these videos and study them again. Uh, and that's layers. Okay, where do you think that we had the layer to this story, Anaja?
Um, would it be? It wouldn't be when they were looking at the wildfires.
Mm-mm. The layers were
Would it be anytime they would talk about the car?
nope.
Anytime there was
I'm telling you, Enrique, you don't have to guess.
All right.
The layers were the replanting, the reforestation aspect of the video, right? Of the storytelling. You know, so it wasn't just about this photojournalist covering this devastating California wildfire, right? And the fact that he drove to the site or to the sites in his Subaru car. The layer was, right, Eli, was the fact that Subaru was part of the process of reforestation and replanting trees. Make sense to you now, Enrique? I can't hear you, but I can.
I say yeah, it does.
Yeah. Okay, so keep in mind story layers. That's another reason why I leave these videos up so you can go back and study them. You can start, stop, scrub forward, scrub back on them to pick up these points. There was something else that really drove this story. You had to listen for it for 500 points, Sam.
The photography?
Nope.
Nope.
Eli? The music.
Mm.
The music set the tone.
Yeah,
right?
I didn't even notice the music the first time around.
That's partly good and partly bad because you're not really supposed to, the music wasn't so high that it was a distraction, but the kind of music that was selected was important. Two things that they did here, Naja, was what? They chose music that was instrumental. In other words, no lyrics. And they chose music where the mood of the music
It sets the tone of the
tone.
story.
Would rap music have worked?
No.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Would a good old country song worked? No.
Nope.
Right? So when you choose music and you have that option, when you choose music, don't go into GarageBand or wherever you can find some free music and just throw something together at the last minute. You got to think through and listen to a number of samplers, to find the right music that helps drive your narrative, helps drive your story, helps complement and supplement your storytelling. That makes sense, you all? Okay. So again, this is up there for you all to go back and study again. I love this commercial. Used it last semester, and I believe the semester before that. More than anything, the shot sequences. Here we go. Come on, internet. There you go.
My son needs this drug. I hope it doesn't cost too much. I hope my insurance pays for it. Can you tell me how much this will be? 67. Sorry. Wait, have you heard about GoodRx? GoodRx finds free coupons to help you save up to 80% on your prescriptions. How? I had no idea. GoodRx. Stop paying too much for your prescriptions.
We notice here, guys, what? The music didn't come on until the end, right? Or the last quarter of it, right?
Mhm.
And if we have been studying Ken Colby's minute and 46-second piece on multimedia, we would, we would remember also, and if we read Freytag's Pyramid from the book, that rising tension, that conflict, right, Anijah? That conflict and resolution. Eli, 500 points. Where was the conflict in this 30-second commercial?
The price being too high for the drug.
Right. We can see from this scene, right, Sam? This woman is worried. It sets the tone, right? We see that
My
early
son
on.
needs this drug.
And then we cut, no dissolves, no Ken Burns effect, straight cut to what's called a point of view shot. Right, Enrique? A point of view shot is what? Exactly what it says. It's the point of view of this lady going into a pharmacy. First shot.
My son needs this drug.
She's walking towards something. Second shot, we see where she's walking. Right, Anijah? We see where she's
I
walking.
hope it doesn't.
Third shot, we see her entering. We go back to that shot. Well, we go to the shot from behind her head. So we opened it with what? Her face walking toward you. Second shot was the point of view where she was going. Third shot, we're still behind, we're behind her walking into the
Doesn't cost too
pharmacy.
much.
We still got her walking now. And this is the first time what, Sam, we see she has children, right?
Mhm.
Is she a Fortune 500 vice president, executive
No.
vice president?
No, she's got on like a maid or a hotel worker's.
Right, or a
Yeah.
cafeteria waitress
Yeah.
type of shot. Look at that. So that tells us something about her, right, Anijah?
Yes, she's a working mother.
She's a working mother. Now we don't know whether or not she's married or not, but we do have an indication, right, Eli, that she's probably a single mother, because if she had a husband at home and she had to go pick up the prescription after she got off from work, what, Eli? The kids would probably be at home with the daddy.
Mhm.
Makes sense, Elijah? Right.
I hope
Yes.
my insurance pays for it.
And we notice with all of this, as you all get into editing your scenes together, what do we notice on Enrique? That all of the cuts are on moves. We all cut into some action, right? We don't cut to still images or frozen frames. We cut into action. We cut into movement.
Can you tell me how much this will be?
Again, establishing shot. Am I right, Enrique? We got the establishing shot from when we first started it, the establishing shot, the medium shot, the close-up shot, and the detail shot. We started it with the close-up. We started it with her face, right? But it's always forest trees bark, or a combination of that, right? But we were told, right, Sam, early on, not 30 seconds into the piece, not 10 seconds into the piece. We are told early on, we are shown early on, like Colby says, right? You got to pull your reader in within the first couple of seconds, your viewer in within the first couple of seconds, right? We know where this is and where she's going. A woman, parking lot, walking into a pharmacy. She's got some kids. She's a working mother and more than likely a single mother who is by now at the 11-second point.
67.
This is what's called a reaction shot. She's told $67. Right, Anijah? And then we see from this picture what? The angst on her face. I can't afford that. Right? And we cut back to that medium shot. Sorry, blah, blah, blah. Can't afford it. So that's your conflict, right, Eli? Eli. That's your conflict.
Wait.
Wait. And so what does wait signal to us, Sam? That we got some resolution coming.
Yeah.
Right?
You heard about GoodRx?
Right? We go to a tight shot of the, well, not tight, but an environmental picture, medium shot of the pharmacist, and then we have another shot of the mother. She's explaining to her about GoodRx. But what else do we see here, Anijah? We can see how the little girl is clinging to her mother now. Y'all, that's on purpose. Okay.
GoodRx finds free coupons to help you save up
This is that detail shot, right? Wide angle shot, medium shot, close-up shot, detail shot.
to 80% on your prescriptions.
Wow.
We see the price from $67, right, Sam, down to $8.90. And we see the reaction shot, right?
Mhm.
Another medium shot.
I have no idea.
GoodRx. Stop paying too much for your prescriptions.
Boom. 30 seconds. You got that, Sam?
Mhm.
You got that, Anijah? Okay.
Yes.
Study this, guys. Go through it on your own, just like I'm going through it with you now. I've broken it down. Okay. Lastly,
Show some respect. Show you give a damn. Show the world how it's done. Show them that when your community needed you the most, you showed up. Mask up, America.
okay. So again, we got another 30-second commercial. They added some lyrics to it, but the music again was very effective, as well as what, Sam? The graphics, right? Um, they went after, and as we can see in that ad, who's it for, or who's the target audience? Young people.
Everyone.
Well, but mostly young people, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because why, Eli? Because young people, as we saw on yesterday or the other day from the Super Bowl water parade and all the Super Bowl parties, that, you know, people were at the bars without the mask and blah, 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 blah. You know, but a very effective ad that used graphics, hint, 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 Sam, use graphics in a very effective way, right? A very effective way. We'll look at it without, what did it do? Or
It went, yeah, it played the next one.
Yeah. We look at it without music or words. Respect, give a damn, how it's done. Right? Young people, you showed up. Very effective. Right? America, or Mask Up America. Right? Done very effectively. Okay. Just wanted to show that. Any questions on these last ones? And then again, the chapter 10 from the Kobe book, as well as chapters 1, 2, 3, 4, and 10. Again, shots make up sequences, sequences make up scenes, and scenes make up stories. And so if you look at not only the three that we went through on Tuesday, but also the three that we just saw, you know, we will see the shots make up sequences, sequences make up scenes, and scenes make up the story. Anything else before we move on now to Hotel 22? Okay. Eli, you good? I can't hear you, Eli.
Yeah, I'm good. Sorry.
He's got his coffee.
Oh, Lord. Eli, on
Coffee.
Eli, on Tuesday, why don't you bring me a Starbucks? Okay.
All
You
right.
guys even in the same area?
I'll take Bart over there.
You know, Eli gotta figure it out. Okay.
By the way, just real quick, since we're talking about coffee, the Nirvana Soul near campus is delicious, by the way.
Oh yeah, we documented them last year.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah,
You know,
I did a
when they opened. In fact, I think one of my students, if I can find it, I'll show it to you, did her final project on Nirvana Soul. I was there the first day, the first week that they opened. It's hard to, it's a great location because it's in a community. But if you come from outside the community, you can never park over there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the downside of it. But I was happy for those two young ladies. I know their grandmother. Uh,
Oh,
oh yeah.
yeah.
Who,
I follow them on Instagram. I see them all the time, but
yeah,
they're really good. I really like their coffee.
the coffee's good. The service is excellent. Anijah, you need to go over there to Nirvana. So um, it's two African American women.
Oh,
They're,
for sure. Black
they're
owned businesses.
yeah,
It's a black owned business, and it's
yeah,
like amazing. It's so I'll actually send you them on Instagram because they're really awesome. Their advertising's amazing as well.
yeah,
Yes, please do.
yeah. They're sisters uh, doing some neat work. Let me show one other thing real quick before we go to Hotel 22. Um, Enrique, how's your voice this morning?
How's my voice?
Yeah,
It's good.
good. Hit it. The
All
audience
right.
is watching the clock. Here's
All
the
right.
good news.
Here's the good news. According to a survey of internet video viewers, if your video story is less than 10 seconds long, about 89% of viewers will watch your whole video. The bad news, there just aren't that many 10 seconds videos out there. Most journalistic videos stories are much longer. If your story is about 30 seconds long, the study shows that about two-thirds of your viewers will finish watching it. Make it 30 seconds longer and fewer than half the viewers will stay till the end. Because most online video stories are in the 130 to 3 minute range, you may only hope that 10 to 20% of viewers will watch all of yours. The aim of the game is video journalism, is to create gripping, well-wrought stories that grab a viewer's eyeballs and do not let go until every last frame. As video and multimedia storytellers, we are fighting an uphill battle. The wide general audience we keep talking about, your average viewer, is probably checking out emails, chatting online with a friend, and visiting another two or three websites while your story is loading and playing. Once you have grasped this discouraging fact, you can start to see just how compelling and engaging your stories must be in order to compete with the daily avalanche of online distractions. All your online distractions all your potential viewers deal with. The first 10 to 20 seconds of your story is without a doubt the most important part. Keeping a viewer's eyeball glued to the screen while your show is playing is, of course, the ultimate challenge. It takes research and planning and a knack for telling a story. But if you have gotten this far and are still interested in trying to create multimedia stories, you are probably a fine candidate for this fascinating profession.
Okay, and that's from the Cobry book. Um, yeah, guys. Again, the first 10 to 20 seconds of your story is without a doubt the most important part. Keeping a viewer's eyeballs glued to the screen while your show is playing is, of course, the ultimate challenge. It takes research and planning and a knack for telling a story. But if you have gotten this far and are still interested in trying to create multimedia stories, you are probably a fine candidate for this fascinating profession. You guys should keep that in mind. Look, look at this extra life below zero segment, streamlined, and some behind the scenes tidbits. We're not going to go over that in class today, but I pulled some excellent um, segments of life below zero that kind of show how they make this show, which is fascinating. They're out there in those elements, and it talks about the majority, not all, but the majority of the shots are GoPro and drones. And you can imagine uh, trying to make sure your equipment is working and all of these things in 20 and 30 below zero weather and snow and ice and everything else is quite challenging, but it's an excellent show. Okay. Hotel 22. The elements of a successful story. I pulled this out of chapter 4, Eli, or what?
It has a narrative line and potential conflict or tension. It has strong characters. It contains universal and
Pertinent.
pertinent themes outside of the story itself. It has something to say about the human condition or has direct relevance to significant, meaningful issues. Sorry.
Okay. All right. So again, it has a narrative line and potential conflict or tension. It has strong characters. It contains universal and pertinent themes outside of the story itself. Mm. It has something to say about the human condition. It really should be and or has direct relevance to significant, meaningful issues. Hotel 22, um, directed by Elizabeth Lowe, who, when she did this, was a MFA student in Stanford's documentary film program. This piece has gone on, guys, to win everything. It has done that well. Hotel 22. It's got some rough language in it, but it's nothing that you haven't heard before. It's 8 minutes, so Anijah, go get the popcorn for everybody real quick.
Okay, you guys hold on real quick.
You deliver to Santa Rosa.
I got you.
Here we go. Check out the scene setters.
As a consideration for other passengers, please refrain from using mobile phones or other communication devices. If you must use one, please speak quietly and keep your conversation short so as not to disturb others on the bus. Thank you.
Thank you for your patience. We will proceed at the scheduled leaving time. Yes, brother, what's wrong with you guys, man? You pay for this fucking fare, man. There's some heat in here. You watch some language when you get the next bus. Whoa, why don't you put the heat on, brother? And that's all you gotta do. You won't hear a word from me if you put the heat on. You got the heater under your feet. You got all your feet warm, all your legs warm. You got a heater under there. Why don't you turn it off for us? We pay a fare. Who you think you are anyway? You're paid to drive the bus and not change the rules, man. That's all it is.
The audio quality is a little hard to hear. Did you happen to share the audio when you shared your screen shares?
So what now?
The audio quality, I just realized, is kind of poor. Is it a little poor for everybody else too?
Well, it's all the way up.
Okay. All right. Sorry.
Yeah. But again, after we watch this, when you watch it
Yeah.
on your own, you can maybe adjust it on your
Yeah. Thanks.
yeah, let's see. Do.
Check your trap, asshole. That's good. All you other assholes who use this place for your hotel, which is a public bus, not a hotel, are all niggers and racists and shit anyway. You shut your ass, you fucking nigger asshole. Not even supposed to be on the bus. Nigger, shit.
For your safety, please remain stationary until the coach reaches a complete stop.
Okay, wake up, everybody. Eastridge, wake up. Okay, wake up, everybody.
in the line.
Wake up, my friend. Time to go. Time to go. Okay. Time to go. Palo Alto. Okay.
Elijah,
Yes.
comment.
Beautiful. Emotional, very, very sad, even without music or anything, just the natural sound of hearing people talk and what they experience, having to sleep on the bus late at night.
Eli.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your response.
It's just pretty wild to see who the different characters of people that the same bus carries at different times of the day.
I feel like that added a whole different layer to the story, presenting the different time zone, the different time slots, and the different types of people getting on the bus. At 2:30 was all the homeless people, and they were all sleeping. Then the tone to the video was really dark and gloomy. Then once it hit, I forget, it was 5:30, 6:30, and then all the people would enter work, and it was daytime.
I think
That
that's also,
that changed the whole video. Yeah.
I think it also like just shows like what we're seeing in the Bay a lot, the gap of equity between the top and the bottom. And you see at 6:30, you know, it looks like the tech crew going to work in Palo Alto. And then, you know, through the night, it's the forgotten people kind of trying to scrape by.
It's like what the one of the guys said too, like you need to turn the heat on. You turn on the heat for everybody else, but you turn it off for us. Like when we get on, it's pretty messed up. Like I don't know about anybody else, but like when I was in San Diego, I used to like travel on the bus like to and from work, to and from school, and it's not really easy. Like you can sleep sitting up like that, but it's really painful like on your neck and shoulders after a while. So like the fact that, you know, I thought that maybe the bus was taking them to a hotel or something, but then when I heard you can't lay down, you can't do this, you can't do that, it's just like, oh no, the bus is a hotel,
Right.
which is something that's unexpected.
Exactly. Yeah. It has a narrative line, and potential conflicts. It had tension. It had strong characters. It contained a universal and pertinent theme outside of the story itself, right? Outside of the context of what was going on in the bus, the universal and pertinent theme of Sam is what?
I
Homeless,
guess, yeah,
right? It's,
yeah.
it's right there. And the sad part about it is we have not solved that problem. We have billionaires on top of billionaires and billionaires in this country trying to get to, you know, Saturn and Mars and you know, do all these things. You know, I'm not saying, you know, that Elon Musk and all them and the SpaceX people, you know, aren't concerned about social issues and all that. That's not what I'm saying. You know, and the Jeff Bezos and all these other folks that just got money on top of money. But we can do these other things, but we can't solve these basic problems that I don't know where any of you all live, you know, and I live in a nice area and all of that, but I can drive just a few miles from my nice area and look up under any underpass along the highway, Sam, and I see homeless encampments. And
We up here in Santa Rosa, I think it was like back in December, we actually had a homeless camp that spread almost like a mile long. It was actually like the largest homeless encampment in the North Bay. And I guess like SWAT or the government came in and they basically dispersed everybody from that area because you know, there were some people who were just trying to be, you know, peaceful and sleep, but then there were other people who were like throwing trash into people's property, urinating and defecating over everywhere, despite there being like public bathrooms and like a lot of drug problems that were going down. So it was just like really awful. And it's like, where else are they going to go? They're just more spread out now.
yeah, when you know, see what's going on up in the Berkeley, up by UC Berkeley, what that particular park there, protest park or whatever, and the university wants to build a house, you know, student housing, but you know, what about the homeless people who live there in peace, as you say, not bothering anybody? You know, it's one thing to run them away, and that's the problem, right? You run them away where? You know, they, you know, and I think that's what really made Elizabeth's piece so compelling toward the end. When the folks got off the bus, Anaja, where did they go?
No, they just stayed there. They had nowhere else to go.
They stayed there because they had nowhere else to go.
They just spread out a little farther apart. They didn't actually go anywhere.
Right. They didn't go anywhere because, again, they had nowhere else to go. And we saw the physical conditions of some of the people and all of these things. It was just, you know, it's and again, this is told by a graduate student. It is storytelling. I mean, this has been shown at Sundance and all these places, and it's won awards and all of that. And I don't know if this was her graduate thesis project or not, but it's just an example of well done narrative, non-fictional storytelling.
Yeah, that first shot actually really got me. I didn't know what I was looking at first, and then what was it, the wide shot where the guy's just like, you can see he's sleeping, like in that posture, like that's learned, like that overarching, like in his shoulders. He's obviously been on the street sleeping like that for a long time. He probably sleeps just like that every night.
you know, and again, we see it under the underpasses and in the parks. The St. James Park right here in San Jose, um, only about two miles or less from campus. We see that. We see homeless people on campus. You ever try to go into the bathrooms in the buildings if you're ever here late at night before the automatic locks, lock the buildings. Um, uh, you run into homeless people, uh, and it's a challenge, and it's a human challenge again that we created, man created, and we can solve it. We can solve the problem if we have the will to solve the problem. Uh, we can, we do we do things that we want to do, and we discard the people that we care little about. So I wanted to show those pieces for today. We've had our discussion, something to make you all think. I want you to think about these things. I don't just, willy nilly come up with these videos, right? I think through these things, and I'm a uh, I'm a social documentarian and photojournalist. I don't just, you know, make stuff just to be making stuff. I try to produce content that has meaning and value and says something about the larger human condition. And I would hope that Sam, through where you want to go with StoryCorps and wherever you other students want to go with your careers, that you will enter careers with a eye and through a lens of how can I make society better? How can I make the world better? How can I leave the world, Eli, better than the way that I found it and enjoyed it? What are they going to say at my funeral? I would hope, Enrique, that somebody would say that the world is a better place because Enrique showed up. And this is what he did. This is what Eli did. This is what Elijah did. This is what Sam did. They left the world a better place. And that should really be our focus, guys, as we go through this education process. It just shouldn't be about, I got to have a C, I want this, I got a 4-point average, I want to maintain it, all that kind of stuff. That to me, as you all can see through how I set up the course schedule and the syllabus, I don't put a whole lot of emphasis on grades and all that kind of stuff. I'll give you your grade and blah, blah, blah. You earn your grade and all of that stuff. But that means very little to me. What means the most to me is the type of person that you continue to evolve to be. You all have a good weekend. If you have any questions about cluster assignment 2, letter to someone that I miss, come to me. Make sure that your narratives in your letter to someone that I miss are steeped with B-roll, as in the Harry Edwards letter to Coach Bill Walsh. All right. And it's not just a lot of whatever. Okay. I'll see y'all on Tuesday.
All right. Do you
All right.
happen to have a website for like any royalty free music or sounds?
I don't have a website for, it, but you can just
You go on
Google-
YouTube.
Yeah. So sometimes I'll find them on YouTube, but then they take me to a link and it's just like, oh, we need you to sign
Yeah.
up before you actually download this. I'm like, I just want
Well,
Yeah, but YouTube has a lot of instrumentals and a lot of sounds that you can
Yeah.
download for free.
okay, yeah.
All right.
Well, I
That's
just-
that's where I like to go, but then I want to make sure that it's actually royalty free and somebody
Well,
didn't like rip it
well,
from
stuff
somebody
on
else's.
GarageBand is 100% royalty free.
I forgot GarageBand was a thing.
Yeah.
Oh wow. I haven't heard that since gosh, maybe middle school. I have a PC, so
You guys
using
have an IP?
GarageBand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have students who pull stuff off of GarageBand all the time, but
Yeah.
it's there, right?
I totally forgot about it. Wow. Jeez.
Okay,
Yeah,
guys.
I'm gonna look into that. Yep.
All right, then. You all have a good one.
All right. You too. Bye.